thank you very much indeed for joining us. Well, that's a question. Should we put that to him?
Let's put... Dai, what do you think about this idea that perhaps this wasn't all accidental, that the princess deliberately got in that car, deliberately got on that school run, because of all the speculation about where she is?
Well, good afternoon. The straight answer would be no, I don't think it's any kind of conspiracy. I'm delighted the princess is feeling better so that she can. And it's a presumption that she was going to or from the school. What concerns me more is the security implication. Where was the backup? How was a photographer able to get this direct photograph? It reminds me of the issues what happened in the south of France, although they were more salacious in the fact that she was photographed with very little clothes on. It also reminds me of Edward VIII going back into the 30s, where the Americans were publishing all manner of pictures with him and Mrs. Simpson. Here we are again, the Americans doing this. I think the British press are to be commended for the fact that they have not published it and they have been restrained in doing anything. On the other hand, you know, there's so much speculation as to what was really wrong with her, etc., etc. So, but on balance, I don't think it's reasonable, and I would hope that somebody gets a grip of this and stops this nonsense as far as she's concerned.
Well, Dai, remind us, as a former royal protection officer yourself, remind us the lengths the paparazzi go to and what techniques they use to get up close to the royals to get these kind of shots.
Well, they obviously can use long lenses, and today's cameras are way advanced to the ones when Diana was around, when I was in overall command of royalty protection. So things have moved on. You know, I'm no cameraman, but clearly now they can be some way away. What always worries me is the protection that surrounds our royals and how good that protection should be. Clearly, given a choice, I wouldn't have her mother driving her. I would have a protection officer who's highly trained, because in this day and age, you never know what can come at you or your principals. And I'd always want to know that there were support structures if and when she's going anywhere these days. It always has been the case. So I wonder where and how and when this was actually taken. But my concern really is the security. And if somebody like this photographer, and let's face it, Princess Diana, that photograph with Davies was worth about £250,000. So I wonder what this chap has been, or female has been paid for it. I wonder.
No, they're big questions. But I suppose just finally, with regard to what we would expect the normal security of the Princess in Wales and her mother, might they have been in this car by themselves? Might there have not been... Whenever I've seen a royal motorcade, I see outriders, I see policemen on their motorcycles, but I suppose that's not always the case for the royals.
No, it's a balance, and it, again, depends on the risk assessment carried out by those charged with protecting both the prince and the princess, and indeed her children. I wouldn't want to comment too much. Clearly, there are contingency plans. Clearly, there are support structures to and from, and I would hope they are in place. But one never discusses the actual how it's done or where it should be done. I think, being the princess, she deserves the highest. I agree with one thing her uncle said. She is a huge asset to this country, and long may she recover, and long may she be the Princess of Wales. I think she's an incredible lady, has never put a foot wrong, and she deserves everything we can give her as a society, in my opinion.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your expertise and insight, Dai Davies, former Royal Protection Officer. Very interesting.
Yeah, definitely.